There are all these points throughout the show where you just think, oh no, don't.
Russell wrote, he will regret this later.
Yes. That's what's so brilliant about Russell's writing. The little tiny nuances that are echo hugely. It actually is about stuff that's really relevant and prescient and we need to be talking about more. Hello, I'm Alan Cumming.
And I'm David Morrissey.
And we are in Russell T Davies' new drama, Tiptoe.
I play Clive Goss, who's the neighbour of Leo.
Go on, give us your cue then.
I play Leo, who is the neighbour to Dave's character, Clive.
Well, I'm not going to lock myself out again, Clive.
Well, whatever you do.
I run a bar on Canal Street. I am recently separated and kind of in a bit of a state.
Do you ever wear any clothes?
Yeah, I should.
Yeah, go on, piss off.
When someone you're such a fan of thinks you're great too, and then they ask you to be in their things, I think it's almost fate that meant I wasn't able to be in the things he asked me before, because this is so right for me at this time in my life, and it's so the story I want to be telling. And I feel incredibly moved that it all kind of happened this way, and that to be doing it with Dave and to be feeling that we are really doing something important, you know, that needs to, it's a great drama and it's a great yarn, but it actually is about stuff that's really relevant and prescient and we need to be talking about more.
You are inside my house!
Russell had pitched us the story, so then we got the scripts, then he went off and wrote the scripts. So it was a really funny thing of you were getting the sort of full realization of something that you knew a bit about. The thing I found hardest was this, you just have to wait for him to finish the next one. The anticipation of it was so difficult.
He uses time in a very interesting way. So even at the beginning of episode 1, you know where you're going. But then you make real presumptions about the characters in the early days and the early stories, and then those assumptions are challenged as you go on. So that was the wonderful
thing.
Never
Folks, never presume.
After the read-through, we both went up to each other and said, we're going to have to look after each other on this.
I felt like I had a safety net with Dave. We had to do really dark, deep things. And equally, I think our friendship allowed him to probably delve in a way that he wouldn't have maybe felt as comfortable with someone he didn't know as well. Leo has lived in Manchester for a long time. He's Scottish, but he came to Manchester kind of during the AIDS crisis and became HIV positive. He's recently got separated from his partner. As the story goes on, you realize more and more how fragile and sort of vulnerable and kind of in a bit of a state he is. He's a hot mess, much like myself.
25 years old, pink, wet, topless. Well, I tell you, all of a sudden that garden gnome had a fishing rod.
Clive, likewise, he's a man who has arrived at a place of real personal crisis.
If you put this on the wall outside, you won't get locked out again. They give these to the elderly and disabled.
Although he's not living the lifestyle that Leo is. He's not out in the world in that way. He seems very disconnected from people. He's worried about the world. He's worried about his financial situation. He's worried about what's going to happen to his children when they grow up. He doesn't know what to do with this anger, worry, frustration, and he finds, if not solace, he certainly finds an echo chamber online, and that sort of amps him up against the world, really.
Leo's greatest fears come true. He talks a few times during this series about how things have changed and how the world and Canal Street and being queer is more dangerous and you're more vulnerable to attack, and just there's more violence around.
How dare you be different? How dare you not know? We did exactly what you wanted and you still don't like it.
Yeah, I think Clive's biggest fear is that he doesn't have any relevance, that he's not relevant. He believed that, if you work hard, you will get this. If we leave Brexit, we'll get that. If I vote this way, I'll get that. And none of those things are happening. And the promise that he'd been given doesn't seem to be coming true, and makes him vulnerable to radicalization, and he becomes radicalized in the world.
This is Leo, my gay neighbour. Oh, if that's not offensive.
Well, it is. So watch it.
When you meet them first, they obviously know each other, but not very well. And they've lived together, is it 12 years?
12
They've
years,
lived together next door for 12 years. And in that way, you can be right through the wall from people and not really know that much about them. Like, you know, they know each other's names and they say hello in the street maybe. But an incident that happens at the start of the show means that Leo gets locked out and has to go into Clive's house to make a phone call. And that is the start of the beginning of the end, really.
We meet them at a point where they're both in a different, more vulnerable part of their lives. And but still of an age where they've got a big future, they've got a lot of future. And it's about how are they going to negotiate that as individuals. What's also great is the two biggest conversations that I think Clive has, where he's so open and honest and vulnerable, happen with Leo.
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
And maybe more than with anyone he's ever had in his life.
Much more.
Yeah. I do think there's a way that they could be they could have been good friends. I think in a funny way, the show is about a sort of series of unfortunate
sliding doors.
Sort of a sliding doors of horror. And yeah, like when they have these conversations together, like there's a few sort of, tentpole ones throughout the series. You do see them open up and communicate. Leo blows it by just not being able to stop being a clever dick and trying to get one up on and just feeling attacked and always being on the being aggressive.
There's definitely a bit where they could be, agree to disagree about things in the world.
Yeah.
That would be the way we would want them to be. Certainly from Clive's point of view, he's lost respect for other people. And that is what's the
it's not
real
specific
tragedy.
to Leo, it's just in general. He's kind of closed off.
And that's the tragedy, is because he's dehumanizing someone. And if he's dehumanizing someone, that means he can do whatever he wants to them.
And there are all these points throughout the show where you just think, oh no, don't. There's all these little moments, and that's what's so brilliant about Russell's writing. The little tiny nuances that are echo hugely.
There's a great bit in the script where whatever happens to Leo at the beginning, he gets locked out of his house and but when he gets into the club, when he goes back to the club, he tells the story, but he invents a whole load of stuff. He he has to embellish, and he embellishes and embellishes. And Russell wrote, he will regret this later.
Yes.
And you just think that is brilliant.
Boy, oh boy, did he regret it. Thanks for listening to us. It's been gorgeous. And we would like to say...
You can stream Tiptoe now on Channel 4.